Flying pretty good now. Well, hey folks, FatGuyFliesRC. All right, I snuck one in on you. Now this is not new to the channel. I have had the 64mm Rafale back when it was very first released, and had it on the channel. Flew the dog mess out of it, like I do quite often. I miss a plane and get it back. So, and if I would have talked to FMS, they might have sent it to me if I begged them, but instead I went ahead and got it for myself. There'll be a link in the description of the video, and you can go, if it's a first-time buyer, you can take 10% off your entire one-time code, or take $10 off your price of your total bill, no matter what, any other time. Be a code in there. It doesn't cost you any more, and you can save a little bit of money. Let's go ahead and put that part out there. This is got a 3000 Turnigy pack in there, 4S, right, left, up, down, right, left. Alrighty, got the ordnance on. This is the maiden flight, so got nose gear suspension. I don't have any kind of light or nothing in there as far as like afterburner or anything. Just straight plane right out of the box. Very simple build. We'll go. It's such a simple build. I wasn't going to do an unboxing build because there's been so many on it, and it is so easy to put together that
timer reset.
I didn't feel the need to do that. It is incredibly simple. All right, 4-minute timer, taking off in the Reflex version 3 optimized mode. All right, and here we go. Audio's working, right? No gear to mess with. Starting to wonder if it was ever going to rotate. He's a little bit of left aileron. Flying pretty good now.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
All right, think I got her all trimmed out now. Take it up.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
Now that's what I call one very successful maiden. But I will tell you right now, I'm going to fly without the ordnance. She flies fine with the ordnance, okay? But I can definitely feel like something's holding her back. So I'm going to leave the end missiles on.
EDF is quiet.
Okay, and I'm going to take the bottom missiles off to help reduce some of that drag. That may also affect my trim now. I didn't think about that, but so just slide these missiles forward. Okay, And they just slot in, so it's very simple. Like all these type of ordnance and stuff, they just slot right in there. The only thing I've done with it other than put it together is I gave her a clear coat. I'm trying to hold the model and do this at the same time. Okay. Didn't break anything. That just... Alright, so that clear coat I gave probably is what's holding it in there. Now I did reduce some drag there. Alright, so let's take it up and see just how much that affects it.
Motor hot and neat.
Now that's not carrying that weight and that drag. I'm thinking she's going to rotate a whole lot faster. All right. Yep.
One minute.
Good flying jet right there.
Cruise mode.
Oh yeah, got reverse thrust. And reverse thrust works real well. All right, rates are pretty simple. It's the Reflex version 3, so I don't know what the settings are per se as the rate, the gains, so that's a set thing. I mean, you can go in there with the app and change them, but I'm happy with the way it flies. All right, my rates I just flew in. Ailerons are 125% with 40% expo. Elevator 100% with 40% expo. And rudder is 100% with 40% expo also. All right, so that's pretty much it on flying rates. Let's check CG and check the battery. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's a simple plane. Good flying plane. We had 19 seconds left on a 4-minute timer. Let's check our CG real quick. Good looking plane. CG is 80 to 90 millimeters back from the leading edge root right here, which puts it, you see these screws, and you put your finger right behind them screws, your full finger pad back, and I'm wanting it to be slightly tail heavy or level to slightly tail heavy, but instead it's slightly nose heavy. So gotta see if I can't move. Yeah, see, it's still nose heavy. On the 90, it's still wanting to favor nose heavy. So I gotta try to possibly move that battery back a little bit further. That's a 3000 Turnigy pack. Yeah, you gotta go to autofocus. And 3000 Turnigy pack. I might be able to shove it a little bit further back than that. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I can maybe possibly. All right, got it back a little bit further, maybe a half an inch further back. Let me see if that helps any at all. Going that 90 there. It's still. So if you got a 3000, whatever you got, shove it back as far back as you can possibly get it. All right, let's check our Purcell. Just to show you my setup. Okay. 3000 Turnigy pack, 4S, XT60, AR620 up front, and the Reflex version 3 is right there buried underneath all them wires. So let's check our battery here. If I can find the lead, balance lead. Oh gosh, we still got 56% left. So let's go up for another minute and try it. Okay, so you can get 5 minutes out of this thing. Easy. 5 minutes easy. So let's try it without that battery a little further back. Yeah, still got 56% left. So you can get 5. That's a huge plus right there. But Delta wings are notoriously efficient. Okay, so set your timer for 5 minutes on a 3000. Fly the way you want. That's good. That's excellent. All right, let's try this a little bit more. Might actually do a stall test this time. Hit that dip there. I can maybe shave a little bit of foam out towards the back and get that battery a little bit further back. All right.
Timer expired.
All right, lose power, what should you do? She just kind of starts flying forward. All right, now up elevator, up elevator, up elevator, up elevator, up elevator, up elevator. Okay, she held her position. She just starts slumping forward. Make one pass.
Minus 1 minute. Cruise mode.
All right, minute and 43 seconds over on a
Timer reset.
4-minute timer. So 5 minutes and 43 seconds of total stick,
TF is quiet.
total stick time. Let's see where we're at now. Great flying jet, great flying jet. Not a speed demon. 20%, 37, 37, 37, 37 Purcell. All right, well, there you go. That was a very successful maiden. Now, two brothers, said that after having a year of ownership with this one, he said, of course, you want to fly it without the gear, because it really wakes it up. And to glue these canards in at a slightly downward angle, you think, well, wouldn't that make the nose dive? Actually, no, because the plane sits at a higher alpha anyways when it's flying. And with those being cantered down a little bit, it actually puts more air over the main wing. So it actually assists with high alpha. Now, I wanted to leave it the way FMS designed it, because that's the way most people are going to buy it. But understand, if you get in too high of an alpha with the canards in the stock position, she'll get into an alpha lock and basically stall from the alpha. So with this one, you want to just no more your high alpha, no more than that. So okay, don't let it get more than that, because she'll easily get into a high alpha lock. So just when you bring a high alpha, just don't go any more than that. Right there is all you want to do. So. But good flying plane, very stable. If you're going to fly it with the gear on, leave the main ordnance off, because they create so much drag. And to me, personally, it makes me feel like she's about to fall out of the sky. But I'm used to a lot of power, so that may just be me. But as you can see, she didn't. And very, very good on the battery. The gear, I mean, you got a 1.5 millimeter hex head that holds the grub screw in, and your nose gear slides out, and these just pop in. They just slide, they just put them in the hole, pop them into place. Okay, so let's just go over the build real quick. It's real simple. Okay, you're gonna see a little peg. It's gonna be coming out of the bottom of the fuselage here. It's got a flat spot on it. Put your finger in there and hold it up, or put something on it to hold it up all the way. Slide your gear down on it with this piece going in this hole here, okay? And then there's a 1.5 millimeter hex head drive. You just drive that, it's already in there, just drive it in the rest of the way, and it butts up that flat spot on that pin that you're holding up, and that secures your front gear. There's holes on either side. You put the hole in, you put the peg and the shaft of the gear, and then swing it into the locking mechanisms for both the gear. Make sure that these angle parts towards the front here. The canards have very obvious foam block pieces that have a space for them to glue in. Make sure you kind of scuff up your foam, put some glue on there. I use medium CA with kicker. Slid them in, easy peasy. The rudder or vertical stabilizer, you glue it in. Make sure you put your servo connection in with. Pay attention to your polarity, light to light, dark to dark, always. Make sure you kind of scuff up the bottom of the rudder and scuff up the inside channel, and just align that with medium CA. Slid that in, a little bit of kicker, and she's good. And that's secured, and your control rod is already hooked up for you. Okay, the wings. Hook up your wing spar. You slide in. You have 4 2mm hex drive screws. Slide your wing in. Make sure you light to light, dark to dark with a locking servo connection. Slides in. Slide your wing in onto the spar. Drive home both these screws with a 2mm hex drive screw. Easy peasy. Mark your CG at. I had a bug fly on the plane when I was putting the clear coat, and now he's underneath the clear coat. Okay, and then just 80 to 90 millimeters back from the leading edge root. But for me, it still wants to be too nose heavy. So, and your wing, your elevons were already hooked up for you. Now you don't have to, you just pick normal wing in your transmitter, because the reflex takes care of doing the mixing for that. Just pick normal wing. And on your transmitter, I put channel 6 is normally for my flaps on my 6-channel transmitter. I assign that to switch B on my transmitter, and then that way, and it has 3 positions for the 3 levels of the gyro. Okay, and it's always the same with the reflex gyro. The middle position is no gyro. In other words, there's nothing going on. Okay, One position depends on how your transmitter goes.
Stability mode.
This one's my stability mode, which is self-leveling. See, trying to self-level itself. And it also has wind mitigation. And then the other optimized, which is what I just flew it in, that's the wind mitigation. Same thing as here are the gyros. And that's just wind, that just helps it. Little plane, it's not self-right, doesn't level the plane. If you're upside down, it's going to stay upside down. It just helps the light plane fly good in foam, or a light foam plane fly well in wind. So, all right. Well, that's my suggestion, is fly it with a wing ordnance only, mainly because I would rather, if I have a wing strike, I would rather the missile take the hit than the end of the wing, because you see, you got your control surface right there. If that missile's not there, then there's nothing protecting the end of that control surface, and that's what's more important. So I think that slides. Well, I'm gonna just leave it on there. But alrighty, there you go. That's a very good maiden for a very good plane. This is a little finicky. Had to press the pitot tube. Got to press down and push back, and you'll feel it lock into place. I put a little spot of glue in there, just because that's me, and the nose cone just pops right on. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. Good looking little plane. God bless y'all. Jesus Lord. Camera precious, thank you for filming. Y'all have a good one. FMS, I know you didn't send it to me, but another great product from you, and I know it's not new, but I wanted it. And we'll see you later. Remember, it says hard to be humble. Bye.